Right, here we are, first part of building a shed and a greenhouse on your allotment. First thing to do is get rid of the compost heap that's in the way. And here we are, the compost heap. So all that needs digging out before we can do anything else. So we started digging it out, and as you can see, it's completely full of bindweed roots. So we're digging it out of here and into our wheelbarrow, over which I've got a sieve, and I'm sieving all the roots out and then spreading the compost over our beds here. And we've got a fine bag of roots to date. So we shall carry on digging out the old compost heap. So here's what's left of the compost heap, all dug out. That's about as far as I'm going to go, because we're on a bit of a slope here, so it's got to be level. We've dug it all the way up to here, and a bit of raking and tamping down, and that should be solid and level, ready for the shed and the greenhouse bases to go in. And we've moved the old shed from here across to here temporarily. And just bunged all the stuff in, but eventually I'll just use that, recycle some bits into the new shed and sling the rest. And we've got the makings of a root fire over here. Just going to let it dry a bit on that pallet where we've got some sun, and we've got some sun, and then I'm going to get an incinerator and burn all my roots. So next step is putting the bases in for the shed and the greenhouse. Greenhouse first, probably. So the next stage of building the greenhouse and shed is to put the base in for the greenhouse. As you can see, I've already started. I've put a paving slab at each corner and put some plastic under there as well to keep the wood off the ground, although it is all treated wood. I got someone's decking off them for next to nothing, so I'm using what I've got. I've levelled it all up, squared it all off, and then just put, in the end, two quite large screws. I think they're actually 100mm screws in each corner, and that should keep it nice and solid. I'm going to put, as you can see, I've started putting in some weed suppressants to go in the bottom, and I'm going to cover this with earth. The weed suppressant's porous, so water can get out through it, but I don't want weeds coming up through and into the greenhouse, because if you remember, this used to be the compost heap and it was absolutely full of bindweed, and there's still quite a lot of weeds next door. So I'm just going to put this in the middle, and I'm going to take this stack of earth at the end, that we don't know what it's for, de-weed it of bindweed, which, as you can see, it's all full of bindweed as well. So we're going to de-weed it into the wheelbarrow, take all the weeds out, so we end up with just earth, and then we're going to put the earth in on top of the weed suppressant, not up to the top of the base here, but about halfway up the wood at the side, with the weed suppressant protecting the wood, and then on the top we're going to put some gravel, and down this side, which is the side nearest the allotment, we're going to put a row of paving stones that I've scrounged previously, and at this end we're going to make some steps up to what will be the doorway here, out of bits of decking and wood and pallets and various other things. And I'll show you the pile of wood I've got waiting at home to come across it a bit by bit. So that's all for now. On with putting in the weed suppressant. So here we are, another sunny day, and next lot of wood for the shed greenhouse. And what we're going to do today is build some sides for the greenhouse and get a framework put together with a bit of luck. make it up as I go along. But at the moment I've forgotten my spirit level, so I'm just going to go back to it. So a bit more done on the greenhouse today. Just put the one side structure up. As I say, I'm making this up as I go along. So I've got a couple of full-size posts which are braced vertical at either end, and then filled in with a couple of bodged posts in the middle made out of pallet wood, and some noggins in between to hold it all. It's a tad unstraight at the moment at the top, but the roof should pull all that together with a bit of luck. So I'll put some sides on it tomorrow, make the other side up if it's not raining, and fit that up over there. I think I'll do that in one piece. There we go. So after 2 days of rain, I managed to get back down and do a bit more on the shed. I've actually done the work before talking about it, which is probably not the right way to do it, but never mind. So this side we had up the other day, and this side I built separately. I put all the outside boarding on and fitted the whole thing together away from it, and then we lifted it into place, squared it up and braced it, and then put these two cross braces in to hold it all solid. And I've started putting the outside weatherboard on here as well, but I haven't brought it all across yet, so I've only got one piece to put on. But again, the more of that goes on, the more rigid the structure becomes. So my next jobs on here are to put a noggin in for the window and work out how to build a window, make a doorway at the far end, and make some rafters up as well. I actually had to go and spend some money on some CLS to get the right length for the rafters, which broke my Yorkshire heart. But it was only 25 quid and it should do both the greenhouse and the shed. So the shed is going to go here right next to it and be exactly the same height and width and everything, so that it butts right up against this end. And again, that'll strengthen the whole structure. And then I'm going to put a corrugated polycarbonate roof on the whole length of the greenhouse and shed together, because that seems the easiest way of doing it. And then put polycarbonate on the sides of the greenhouse. I won't need a window in my shed if I have a polycarbonate roof as well, so it's laziness on my part. So with a bit of luck I'll get back down tomorrow and do a bit more. Here we are today, nice beautiful sunny day, blue sky, makes a change. It's been pouring down for weeks, and today's work in the greenhouse. We've, not sure if you can see it, but we've levelled up this bit here, ready for the shed base to go in. I've put the weatherboards down this side of the greenhouse, and I've still got one more to go on the bottom, but I didn't bring enough across. And down at this end we've made a doorway with just an upright piece of CLS all squared off. Put another noggin in across between the two, strengthens it a bit more, and put that weatherboard down this end. So we're just going to tidy up and have a look at putting the shed base in next before we get to the roof, because I'm going to try and do the whole roof as one. But it's coming on and it's more rigid every day. Hopefully the rafters will pull this top bit straight. The other side's quite straight, but this is a bit skewy. So hopefully the rafters will pull it straight once I've made a template for them. And that's it for now. A bit more this afternoon maybe. So we finished off yesterday by filling up the majority of the greenhouse base with soil, not quite to the top because I'm going to put some gravel on top, and then put 4 paving slabs, which was all that would fit without splitting them, through there as a walkway. It's just sitting on the soil, but they'll bed in quite nicely as the soil settles, and put the gravel on top in between. And today we're going to make sure this bit out here is level, and put together a base for the shed. We brought a load of wood across to put the base together. Bit of plastic over there to go underneath, and that should be it. So I'll take a few photos at the end.